Hi, I'm Ali and I'm one of the house managers here at the Hurst and the Clock House, and I'm going to walk you through what access is like here at the Hurst. If you arrive by public transport, our nearest train station is at Craven Arms, which has stair-free access. There are also a number of local taxis available to collect you from Craven Arms station and bring you to the Hurst. If you require a wheelchair-accessible taxi, it's a good idea to book well in advance as we are located quite rurally. The journey time from Craven Arms Station to the Hurst is about 15 minutes. Alternatively, you may choose to drive. When you arrive, you'll find yourself on a long tarmac drive. Follow it up the hill and through the trees, and the Hurst will reveal itself on the right. We are just driving up the tarmac. It's fairly flat, but it is quite a long way. I've sped up the recording. We are about to bear right at a fork. Here the incline increases. We're going up a bit of a hill through trees until we reach the Hurst on the right. There's an unloading area and disabled parking at the front of the building. If you carry on past the Hurst, passing the Clock House on your right, make a left, and then a sharp right. You'll find yourself at the main parking area, which is graveled and sometimes quite muddy. Let's take a stroll around the outside of the building so you can explore our accessible paths. From the front of the building, there is a tarmac drive on the right that leads to the back of the house, where we will find a seating area that's accessible both from the kitchen and the dining room. There is a couple of wooden benches on the tarmac, and then there is a flagstone ramp without railings that takes us up to a selection of metal seats, metal chairs, and tables. Now we'll follow the tarmac drive back to the front of the house. There is grass on either side and the path is smooth and flat. Following the loading area down back towards the main drive. The tarmac here is smooth and wide. There is a rhododendron hedge on the right-hand side as we follow the drive along. So we're continuing to follow the tarmac path. There's a bit of an incline downwards. We're going to follow it around the rhododendron hedge, and then it becomes a bit of a steep upward incline, but the surface is smooth and clean. There's a smaller path off to the right, which we will follow. It narrows down a bit. It's still tarmac. It's a bit steep. There's grass on either side. And this path will take us up. There's a hedge just to the right, grass on the left. The incline changes to a sort of downward slope. And that takes us to the other side of the back of the house, where there is a seating area with metal chairs and a metal table. And there's also a door into the kitchen and a door into the main hall. If we follow that path back in the direction we came, and the slope goes upwards a bit, but the path is smooth and even. We're just going to turn right up onto the grass. And there's another grass path that can be muddy and slippy that leads through some of the garden. You've got the building on your right. The grass path here changes back to tarmac for a moment. And it's flat and even. There's a fence on the right-hand side. And as we approach the extension rooms, there is an accessible ramp with the railing. And then the ground transitions to flagstone, which is a bit wet at the moment because it's been raining. And then here are the extension rooms and a doorway into the main house. And if you'd like to see more of our outdoor walking paths, you'll find a separate access video soon. Let's begin our building walkthrough from where you'll arrive. There are concrete steps up to the front door, and there's also an accessible ramp with a railing available to the left of the stairs. Let's take that route. I'm just walking to the ramp, and the surface of the ramp is made of flagstones. It's largely even. A pair of double doors can open up to the entrance hall. The floor here is old wood boards and is sometimes uneven, but is largely flat. On the left, there's a door to our office, where you can knock during working hours and we'll be happy to assist you with anything you may need. On your right, there's a doorway to our lounge, where we host our evening meetings. The room has a variety of seating options, including sofas and armchairs. If needed, we can supply sturdier wooden seating for you. We also have an induction loop available. Returning to the entrance hall, if you carry on toward the back of the house, on the right again, you'll find our workshop room. There's a small lip when you enter, and as in the hall, the old floorboards can be uneven. There is a grand round table where writers gather together. There's also a large television for presentations, and an induction loop can be made available. We can also print out any handouts for workshop in large print for you if you need, or on colored paper. This room is also used for one-on-one tutorials with our tutors. Through a doorway, and on your left, we have Hazel Snug, which is our other tutorial room. The floor in here is tile, and there's a sofa and armchair for seating. As with all our rooms, when they're not in use, you're free to use them to read, write, or chat with your fellow writers. Back to the hall, we're continuing to follow it toward the back of the house. On the left, the floor changes to carpet. And here we have an accessible downstairs toilet. The floor is vinyl, and inside there is a toilet, grab rails, a sink, and a mirror. And if you carry on, you'll find yourself in the study, where we have computers available should you choose to use them, and a printer should you need it. We return again to the hall and follow it back. Here, the floor changes to flagstone smoothly. We have a lift on your left with access to your accommodation. Our ensuite rooms are spread over the first and second floor, and we have a few external extension rooms as well. Just beyond the lift, you'll find our stairs to the upper floors. And just across the hall from the lift, we have our dining room, where the floor changes again to tile. Here, you'll enjoy your meal times. We have 2 long dining tables and both bench seating as well as chairs. There's also a tea and coffee station where you can make yourself a cuppa, and there's an endless supply of cakes and biscuits and fresh fruits to keep you energized. If you walk to the back of the dining room, there's a doorway into the kitchen where the floor changes from tile to vinyl. The kitchen is where you'll help yourself to breakfast, gather and collect your lunch and dinner, and where you'll spend one evening cooking with a few of your fellow writers. Each writer signs up on the cooking rota, and you're provided with ingredients and simple recipes to make one dinner for the group during the week. If you would prefer to be removed from the rota, just let us know. Now, we'll have a quick look upstairs. The hallways on the first and second floors are mostly carpet, but there are also patches of wood that transition smoothly. There is a wooden staircase with rails, but should you need it, the lift will carry you to the top of the stairs where the floor is carpeted. The first ensuite room we'll walk through is one of our accessible rooms. Alder is accessible by a wooden ramp with a sturdy railing. When you enter the room, if you bear with me, you'll find a bed, a desk, a chair, and a chest of drawers. Your ensuite is through the door on your right. Inside, the floor changes to vinyl, and you'll find a wet room with grab rails, a fixed shower chair, and a curtain. If you require assistance, you are welcome to bring a PA at no additional cost. We can also accommodate assistance dogs on lead in the house and have ample outdoor space for them to exercise. If either of these options would help you, please reach out via phone or email. If you follow me, we'll take a look at one of our standard rooms, Larch. We'll just head back into the hallway, down the ramp, past the lift, up the wooden stairs. Here's where the lift will let you out. Through the hallway, where the lights are automatic. Here we are outside of Larch. If we open the door, the floor is carpet. And once again, you'll find a single bed, a nightstand, a desk, a chair, and a chest of drawers. And at the back left-hand corner of the room, you'll find the door to your ensuite. Forgive the sound of the fan. Here, you'll find the floor is vinyl, and there's just a slight uneven patch. There is a small shower cubicle, a toilet, a sink, and a mirror. Which brings us to the end of our access tour of the Hurst. And while I've got you, just to mention about all of our Arvon courses, that there's no need to worry about spelling or grammar. Just focus on creativity, soak up the inspiration, and immerse yourself in the Arvon magic. Thank you so much for following me around, and hopefully see you at the Hurst soon.